All right. So my name's Jennifer Marshall, and I am the community garden organizer for a group called Memphis Tilth. Thank you. And tonight I'm going to talk about what it means to be Tilthy. So Memphis Tilth is a nonprofit collective housing like-missioned initiatives for land, food, people, and place. And it's our mission at Memphis Tilth to cultivate collective action for an economically sustainable, socially equitable, environmentally sound local food system. It's quite a mouthful. So the word tilth itself is an Old English word, and it references the health of the soil or the quality of the soil. But it also came to reference the idea of cultivating wisdom and the spirit. And so at Memphis Tilth, we are engaged in both enhancing people's lives as well as the environment. And so in order to do all of that, we have multiple programs that do a lot of things in the local food system. We have Bring It Food Hub that enhances farmer livelihood by purchasing produce from them, assembling it in food subscription bags, and then delivering those to people's doorsteps. We have an urban farming program and an urban gardening program, as well as a certified community kitchen, and a food policy program that helps people engage on a grassroots level food policy issues. So raise your hand if you eat food. Awesome, that's most of you. Raise your hand if you also purchase food, either from a restaurant or a store, wherever. Again, most of you. So you are a part of the local food system, whether you know it or not. You are an active participant here in Memphis. And you speak very loudly with the decisions that you make to purchase food and where to purchase food, and also in the decisions you make to not purchase things. And so this is the local food system, and it is a map that follows food from its origin to its destination, as well as the waste that results from that process. And it also includes, as Mike Minnis is an example, the people involved in that process as well. So as a grower, this is what a typical day at work for me can look like in the garden with my students, talking about how to grow produce and how to care for the environment while we do that. It's in the garden as well, where I can host volunteers and community members and have interns, and we get to engage the food process of growing and harvesting and composting and playing with worms. It's all there in the garden. But this is also a place where I get to pass along the greatest skill that I have, which is how to grow food. Because when you are able to grow food, you are in control of what you eat, but also you have the power to control what goes into your body. And Memphis is known for a lot of things, but health isn't really one of them. And it's not necessarily people not having enough food, but it's oftentimes people not having enough of the right kinds of food. And those kind of implications have an impact over your life. And it's really just me losing my cards. But it's not necessarily a food access issue. It's oftentimes a nutritional inequity where people aren't understanding what good food is and can be. And so not having good food and not having the right food has implications far past what just goes into your mouth for your meal that day, but it's going to affect your decisions throughout your life and lifestyle. So that's why at Memphis Tilth we have complementary programs, where not just the garden is a program, but also the community kitchen is a program, where we are teaching students how to grow something, but then how to prepare it and wash it and turn it into a healthy, delicious meal. Our relationship with food is what needs to change most often, where we're able to work in community with one another to learn why good food is not only good for us, but good for the environment, and how to prepare it in a way that we can enjoy. So we do this not only within Memphis Tilth across our programs, but with partner organizations, and then of course with each other, as we learn to relate more to our food and understand it better. Those choices that we are making for ourselves get passed on to those around us. And so we work very closely at Memphis Tilth to increase this relationship with food to a more equitable relationship, as well as a more knowledgeable one. And as active participants, as you have already identified yourself in the local food system, I want to encourage you to think about getting involved in small ways of making small changes or doing small things in addition to what you're already doing other than eating food. There's a lot going on, as you've heard tonight here in Memphis, and I want to encourage you to join Memphis Tilth in engaging the local food system.